We have made it to Big Ten play. And nothing says Big Ten play, Tyvis, like getting on an airplane and flying to the West Coast.
Oh, that's what we doing now in the Big Ten?
Yeah, we're flying to Washington. Now, you used to live there.
I did.
Did you ever do the fish market where you caught the fish?
I didn't. My family did.
Okay.
I was busy at the time.
You were playing
I
football.
had things I had to do, so I couldn't absolutely get to that. But I wanted to. I always wanted to.
All right. Let's start with the biggest talker. Every person that you talk to says Washington is the loudest place they've ever been. And Penn State, they've taken notice, okay? But
yeah, Penn State's loud.
when you hear that, does that worry you at all? Do you agree with that sentiment? And how do the Buckeyes prepare for that environment, knowing they've got a first-time starting quarterback going on the road?
So full disclosure, I've never actually played in Washington Stadium. However, I played for the Seahawks at Lumen Field, and it's the same design, same model. And that was probably one of the loudest stadiums I've ever been in my life. So I would agree that Washington probably is loud and proud. And with the Buckeyes coming to town, they're definitely going to be, those stands is going to be filled. So I think that they'll be fine, okay? Like, noise is cool. Like, whatever. I get the communication part. Obviously, I play defense, so I actually encouraged the noise. When we were on the road, that's when everybody sat down because their quarterbacks needed to operate. On the flip side, when you're at home and you hear all of that noise, you actually feed off of that energy. So our offense will be fine. I think that it's not like this is their first time ever going on the road and playing in a loud environment. I mean, this team went on a wonderful run last year, and those stadiums was loud. So they're going to have a way to communicate things. It's all about Julian just being comfortable, trusting your guys. Don't worry about – it's not like you're playing the guys in the stadium. The only people you need to worry about is the 11 people that's on the field, and I think they'll do a really good job with that.
All right. When you look at this Washington team, we could start with defense. We'll start with Washington's offense, Ohio State's defense. They have a lot of guys at skill positions that could cause major headaches.
Yes.
You want to take us through them?
Okay, so obviously let's start with the quarterback, Damon Williams Jr. Damon is what they call a mobile quarterback, which always causes problems.
Hey, they handled one well against OU.
They did. So which is funny because now they have the recipe. Arch Manning was a mobile guy. Parker Navarro, mobile guy. So it's not like this is the first time that they've gone up against a guy that can escape the pocket. So pass rusher, maybe we don't see their best moves this week because you don't want to get too far up the field to create those seams for Damon to get out of. But he's pretty good quarterback, pretty accurate guy. When you talk about who his playmaker is, Denzel Boston is really a good wide receiver. I think we'll see him on Sundays. Nice deep threat. I think he's about 6'4", like 200 pounds, so he's got the size on him. It's going to be really interesting to see him versus IGB and Jermaine Matthews Jr. and maybe even Devin Sanchez. So I think that will be a key matchup in that game. And then when you talk about the running back, Jonah Coleman, I think he's one of the best running backs, not only in the Big Ten, but in the country. I mean, the guy is very physical. I'm not going to say he's the fastest guy in the world, but he's got some decent speed to him. Last year, I was very high on him. This year, I think he's probably the best back in this Big Ten.
Okay, going back to the running quarterback, we saw them try to handle it against OU. Thought they did a pretty good job. Same thing, as you said, with Arch Manning. But does that take away from the playbook for Matt Patricia? Because you don't want to be going after the quarterback and running past him.
Yeah.
So at that point, you don't want to be too aggressive. Is that the biggest flaw in this system for Ohio State right now, is that you can't be too aggressive when you're going against a mobile quarterback?
I think that what they're doing is perfect because they're doing the simulated pressures. Again, for people that don't know, simulated pressure is when you show 6, but you send 4 or 3. You
hit the little coffee house.
Yeah, you hit the coffee. Look at you.
Yeah.
But when you do those things, guys go free. And I think that's how they're creating their pressure because guys are the offensive linemen are just getting confused and cutting guys loose. So I think they continue to do that. When you talk about Damon, this is his first year as a full-time starter. Last year he was the backup guy. So you want to cause as much confusion. If you got him thinking about what you're doing, then he's not thinking about what he needs to do. So I think that they're going to do a really good job of doing that. I just think Matt Patricia right now, what he's doing on defense is he's causing so much confusion that offenses can't necessarily do what they want to do. And what they're doing as far as pre-snap, they're taking away a lot of things and showing like this is not going to be there. And, oh, by the way, after the ball is snapped, that's a lie. It's wide open, but you thought that it wasn't going to be there, so you're not even looking for it. I just think they're doing a really good job of playing chess and not checkers.
All right. They got a good running back. I don't know that Ohio State, Texas had a good running back, but this probably is the best running back you could say Ohio State's played this year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so what do they lean on defense? Who's got to step up here to stop the run? I mean, we know the linebackers got to make plays, but is there anybody individually that you think I got to see it? It's hard because they're really good. They've already shown how dominant this defense is.
Anytime you go up against a team that can run the ball really well, it always starts with the defensive tackles. Why? Because they are the ones that clogs up the middle. If a team is running just dive straight down the middle of the field, it's a long day because those linebackers can't really get down the hill fast, and that means that their offensive line is pushing up to that second level. So those defensive tackles have to be very stout in that run game. Then when you talk about the linebackers, it's about tackling. I mean, they're going to – Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles have done a really good job at tackling this season. When you have a linebacker coach like James Laurinaitis, you probably know the play before the play even happens, and you're just anticipating and making those plays. So I continue to see those guys do what they're going to do. And then when you talk about on the outside, that's where things can get a little tricky because if this Washington team feels that our corners aren't good tacklers, there are ways that you can block down on everybody and make it be a one-on-one tackle with the corner. You know, they call it crunch to the bunch, meaning you run a bunch to one side, you have all those receivers block down on that linebacker, that defensive end, and you leave that running back one-on-one. That corner has to come up and make those plays. I told you in the Texas week, I thought that me being nitpicky, I thought our corners needed to trigger a little bit faster in getting up the field. If they haven't fixed that, that's something that I can see Washington trying to do.
Well, let's go back to the defensive tackles there. We saw a little movement, really, for the first time this season against OU. Saw Edric Houston not get the first-team reps. Tywone Malone got in there, the first-team reps.
Yeah.
Did you like that? I mean, Edric Houston is one of the ride-the-bus players for me. He's one of the guys that I'm driving the train.
Yeah, me too.
I was a little bit surprised.
I was too.
But do you think that that's going to be a constant this season? Do you think that Tywone showed enough in that game to stay in that role? And of those two guys, they're both very good. I mean, it's a good problem to have. But who do you think does better as a run blocker?
So I think that Edric Houston probably will be the starter. I think that what they wanted to do is Tywone Malone, you know, he doesn't have a ton of reps at the defensive tackle position. This is a guy that was a two-sport athlete, you know, really focused on baseball a lot. I think that when you go up against a team like OU, this is a way to sneak more reps, more game reps. How do guys get better? By playing in the games. So I thought for him, going out there, having a solid performance there, it's like, okay, now we can really trust this guy when we get into Big Ten conference play. I think they know that Edric is probably the guy, but they wanted to get more reps on other guys and take some hits off the body. You know, this is a long season. You're looking to play 16, 17 games. This is a way to get, you know, him a breather. I think that Edric Houston will be fine. I think Tywone did a wonderful job, and he's a guy that can absolutely roll in there. This is a guy that I've been rooting for the past 2 or 3 seasons. Seems to me it's finally starting to click. And if he continues to do that, if our defensive tackle room can rotate like that, and we got 4 guys that can go in there and be effective, then it's going to be a long season for offenses.
I'll tell you this. He's got to be the only guy to ever win a national championship in baseball and a national championship in football. That's absolutely crazy. All right. Let's go back to the offense here. And you talk about communication and going on the road and that it's not a big deal, but when you're actually out there and you're Julian Sayin, and they pump crowd noise in at practice.
Yes,
I mean, it gets loud.
It does. It's a difference, though. Sometimes you got to squeeze that helmet to try to hear that mic because you can't hear it.
So what happens if they have to go to a silent count? And I know the easiest way to solve this problem is throw to Jeremiah Smith for a 70-yard touchdown. They'll all be quiet.
Yeah.
But how do you think this offense handles a silent count? It's a new offensive line. Obviously, they've only got 3 games together. It's a new quarterback. How do you think they handle that?
I think that, the way that they do it is they always had that guard look back. He looked back at that quarterback, and when he give him the thing that he ready, he tapped the center. That gives the snap. Like, that's the way to handle that. You got to go on the silent count. I mean, that's fine.
You think they'll be okay?
Yeah, I think they'll be fine. I think that, like I said, this offensive line went through, the majority of them played last season. And
they're all veterans.
Exactly. So it's not like this is some foreign thing or anything like that. I think that we're making a little bit too much of it. I think that there will be times in the game that the noise will affect the communication. That's a given. But I don't think it's going to ultimately result in the Buckeyes not having a great game. I don't think that's going to be the case.
I just think about the last road game. I'm pretty sure it was Penn State last year. Started down in a 10-point hole because that place got loud.
It was,
it's not.
they made some plays.
Yeah, they did. I mean, pick six.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That'll do it. That'll do it. Listen, I'm covering the base.
If we start the game off with a pick six, I'm taking my shirt off for the rest of the game and yelling.
Okay, all right. Well, there you go. Was that your rule when you were on the field too?
I never got a pick six.
You never got a pick six?
Never in my career. It's a shame.
Tyvis, I remember so much about your career, but I would have assumed that you had a pick six.
Never. I've been playing football since I was 9 years old.
In your whole career?
Never had a pick six.
So have you ever had a touchdown?
Oh, offense, yeah, I play receiver.
No, a defense. You ever recover a fumble? No, scoop and score?
So the funny thing is at Ohio State, I had a chance to recover a scoop and score, and I fell over.
Oh, you didn't?
I fell over.
Yeah.
I want to say Eli might pick it, or Eli or Vaughn picked it up, and I was like, it was like a walk-in touchdown. It was either Rutgers or Western Michigan or something. I can't remember who. It was somebody like that wasn't that good.
Okay, so in that moment, though, you all want the ball.
Yes.
Like this isn't a team.
This is a race. You better get out the way.
Yeah. That's exactly what I envision. It's going through the mind. I want that ball.
Yeah.
You guys don't steal my touch.
You look up and see green grass. Y'all better get out the way. That's mine. I should have tapped it. What I should have did, I should have tapped it up and then picked it up.
That's everything they say not to do. That's great. That's absolutely great. He is Tyvis Powell. Buckeyes on the road, starting Big Ten play. You're not worried about heading out west with the time change or any of that?
No,
Does that really affect you as a player?
I think that if you go a day earlier and let your body get acclimated to it, you'll be fine. When I was playing in the league, I did a lot of coast-to-coast trips from when I was with Seattle. I felt like we was making trips to the East Coast all the time. We went out a day earlier, and we were fine.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Which is what Ohio State's doing.
Yeah.
That's smart. All right. He is Tyvis Powell. Monday morning safety,
yes.
I think is what we're calling it. I like it. You got Monday morning quarterback. It's about time somebody put some respect on the safety.
Thank you.
Who once saved the season against Michigan.